Hello, Captains. This is Metaman. Today we're going to be talking about dealing with radar as a destroyer player. First off, we can see that the enemy team has two buffaloes, so two radars. That's not a lot of radars. There's usually 3 to 4 per team, maybe a CV. But this battle shows me dealing with radar throughout the entirety of the battle. First off, I'm trying to decide which cap I want to go to. I'm looking to see what kind of destroyers they have, what kind of radar. I like the Friesland. It does have bad concealment, it has good DPM, no torpedoes. Has the Hydro, has great AA. Not very fast. Right here, I'm noticing off to my right that this Changmu is kind of pushing over towards me, and I'm just going to slow down, let him go past, make him just make a decision on what he wants to do. Right here, I'm just looking to spot at first, try to find the radar. Dealing with radar, you want to find out where the radar ships are as soon as possible. Also on my mini-map, you notice I have it turned on. Later in the battle, you'll notice it, that I have the mini-map turned on so that I can see last seen locations of ships. So it'll also tell me the names of the ships so I know where the radar ships are. I see a DD's already in Charlie. I see he's directly in front of me. I'm going to try to put this island between him and myself and keep moving forward. I'm also doing that so that if radar pops off, I can go behind the island. Really dealing with radar, you're looking at time, distance, shielding. You want to find out how long their duration of radar is. Right here's the Buffalo, so we know we have one of the radars right in our little area, and we're going to be within that distance because the Buffalo has, which you should start trying to remember numbers, he has a 10-kilometer radar. American radar is long lasting, but usually they're in between, somewhere between 9 and 10 kilometers. His is 10. So here I'm using hardcover, which is my shielding. But the time, what I was meaning is how long their duration is, which his is like 30-35 seconds. How long it takes them to reload, which usually, I don't know the exact time, but I'm guessing around, I start concerning myself at about a minute and a half. I start paying attention to know where the radar ships are. So I have hard cover between myself and the radar. Here I'm just going to go out and do a little bit of farming, put on my hydro, put on my smoke so that the DDs in the cap cannot just torp me. And as soon as I put it up, I see some torps. So I'm going to back away. You notice that I'm staying behind hard cover. If that Buffalo pops off, he will not be able to shoot me from where he's at. But I try to stay towards the outskirts of the player's radar. Also, another point to add out is that 90% of the radar in this game, their concealment isn't as good as the distance of their radar. So unless they're hiding behind hard cover, you're going to see them before they radar. And then you just stay to the outskirts of their radar, stay within it just a little bit so that you can see it when it pops off, but then just run out. And you'll see me do this during this match. And radar does hit me a little bit, but it's not doing significant damage as a lot of DD players act like. Over to the left of me, you see the Chungmu and the Missouri in the cap. They look like they're pushing up a little bit. The Chungmu he's not adhering to my time distance shielding. He has the distance, but he's not using, he doesn't have any hard cover. So if that buffalo pops off his radar, which he probably will, and he's going to right about now, that Chung Mu kind of gets lucky here because the buffalo pops off his radar. I'm going to start running the other way because I know I'm like 8 to 9 kilometers away. So I only have to deal with it for a little bit. The Missouri pushed up. That was a waste of one of our radar ships. The Chung Mu did a good dance to avoid these torps, but he also could have got hit with this radar. Well, I guess he was actually a little farther than I was, so he didn't probably get seen. But you notice I only had to see a little bit of that radar because I already knew I was no closer than 8 kilometers to that radar. Here I'm just sitting in cap trying to get my points off of that. I really don't want to get any closer to the buffalo in Iowa. But the Chung Mu right there kind of got lucky that the buffalo wasn't at a closer distance so that he could have seen him with his radar. I like to have hard cover. I like to have distance. And I like to have shielding. I see one of the ships leaving Charlie and heading back over to a Bravo. You notice I'm outside of his secondary range. He has 11.3. I'm 11.8. I know I'm not going to do a ton of damage right here. He has good armor, but I'm just looking to get lucky with a fire, and I do. I'm going to let him go. He's too far away. But I see that somebody's still hanging around over at Charlie. And you can see on my mini maps that it's probably the DDs. So I'm going to turn around. I am a DD hunter if I have hard cover to sneak up on them. So probably half the time that people die, if not more, that they die from radar is they're sitting in smoke. They're sitting within the radar range without any hard cover. They're not trying to find the radar ships before the radar pops off. Now, if I didn't know where the buffalo was, if I didn't see him before I went over to Charlie, I still would have played with the hard cover because I'm gonna assume that they split the radars up. They might not have, but I'm gonna play that way so that I keep my boat safe. Here I'm just moving up, trying to decide if he's all the way to the other side of this cap or if he's hiding behind this little island. I'm not just zooming through the middle because I am assuming, until seen otherwise, I'm assuming that that buffalo's over there. We see the Benham. I'm not sure why he started firing off. He wasn't within range of being seen. Here I'm going to use the hard cover until I can get close enough where I know he can't escape. To start working him over. As soon as he turns, that's when I pop off my hydro because he couldn't have got his torps off any earlier than that. Just going to safely turn around, then I'm going to start using his own smoke against him. I can see him, he don't see me, he disappears. I'm going to turn around and go right back into his smoke. He should have kept running. He probably thought that I turned around or he thought that he was going to be able to get his torpedoes off before I got there, I would have just ran if I was him. Here he did get his torpedoes off, but he shouldn't have slowed down. He should have kept running back towards his teammates. That's another way that we're dying as in destroyers. We're not playing smart as in going back to teammates. That helps out with CVs also. If you're not too far away from your teammates, they can help you with AA cover. They can help you with, if I'm right here, they can help deter me from coming after you. Here, I see somebody here, or in this direction is close. Somebody shoots at me. I should have turned off to my left. I shouldn't have turned back this way. But I do. The Iowa is going to see me before I get all the way turned around. I know that there's 1 to 2 ships over here with him, probably the Buffalo. I want to just disappear. But after he fires, which he's about to, I know I have 30 seconds till he's going to be able to reload. So as soon as he fires, I'm going to get skinny. I'm going to turn around and start trying to hit him just to create a fire. And then I'll try to go dark again. In a lot of my videos, you see the other teams obviously have radar right here. He pops off his radar. He didn't need to do that yet. But you notice I get skinny. I know that they're right back there. They're going to hit me in the back a little bit. I was at a little over 10,000 when he hit me. I'm at 9870. Okay, so he's going to get a whole duration of radar on me. I know he's not far behind this Iowa, so I'm probably going to take 20 seconds at least of the radar before I get out of his range. He shoots again. Okay, so I was just slightly over 10,000 when the radar started. I'm at 9415 health pool wise now, so that radar didn't take but 1,000 from me. That might seem low, but that's not uncommon. As long as you're playing with time distance shielding, you have some hard cover. I did not have any hard cover, but I had distance, and I knew to go dark as soon as, or I would go dark as soon as I got outside his range. Here I like to always try to get me a little bit more XP. I'm going to see him before he sees me. Get me a couple defensive flags. You'll see that in a lot of my videos. I'm willing to give up those little bit of points to get those 3 flags. And I slow him down in that cap. Now here, he set off his last radar at, I believe it was around 850, 840 left in the game. So right now in my head, I'm knowing that radar is getting pretty close again. And he's pretty close right behind this hard cover. So I'm keeping the hard cover between him and myself. I'm going to keep moving off to my left a little bit. Once again, the Chungmu is moving up, which is our DD. He's lasted this long, great job, but he's getting a little bit too close, and we know that the radar is going to be coming back up. He should try to stay behind the hard cover. He plays a little bit risky. I'm going to get behind this hard cover because I know that radar is getting ready to come back up. So they have a ship off to the Chungmu around the other side of the island. And there's probably an Iowa in the middle because he's going to be slower. And just, he's turning around, trying to come back. And just as we called it out, the radar, within the 2 minutes, he's popped the radar. And now the Chungmu put himself in a bad position. So he didn't know when the radar was going to come off. But the thing is that if there's a radar ship over there, you got to assume that they're going to have that radar. You notice I'm behind the hard cover. They had 1 to 2 ships over there aiming at me. There's nothing they could do. So in this battle, they did a little over 1,000, maybe 1,500 with their radar. We need to stop putting ourselves in bad positions and blaming radar and using hard cover, using distance, using the time, how long the radar is, what the distance of the radar is. Russian is 12, American is usually 9 or 10. But as you can see, this happens a lot in my battles. They get some damage on me. That's going to happen with radar. I mean, if you're seen, but it's not the end all. A lot of times we're putting ourselves in bad position, and that's why we're dying. Like I said, it wasn't a huge damage game. I just wanted to show the radar, and hopefully you guys learned a few things from this, and we all become a little bit better at destroyer play. All right, you guys have a great day. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see. Metaman signing off. Please subscribe if you can.